All right, so today we have some crypto news that I wanted to talk about. Robinhood moves to cut support for Cardano, Polygon, Matic, and Solana. So let's get right into it here, read a little bit about it, then I'll talk about it. The popular trading app Robinhood is ending support for three cryptocurrencies, Cardano, Polygon, and Solana, effective June 27th. We regularly review the crypto we offer on Robinhood. The firm shared an update. Based on our latest review, we've decided to end support for Cardano, Polygon, and Solana. Users have to withdraw or sell these assets for fiat or other eligible assets on Robinhood by the deadline. Post that, these assets will be sold at market prices with the sale proceeds going towards the users. Per data from CoinGecko, the price of all these assets is mixed, with ADA falling 2.7, Matic 0.4, and Solana going up 1.1. The decision comes days after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission sued Binance and Coinbase for a variety of allegations, with securities law violations being common between the two changes brought by the regulator. Both the lawsuits alleged ADA, Matic, and Solana were unregistered securities. So this is the point right here, unregistered securities, right? So again, I've been saying this for a long time. There's been a lot of other people that have been saying this for a long time. And this is the problem with crypto. The first problem I would bring up is that there's a lot of people out there that really don't know what they're talking about. They think that they know what they're talking about, right? The first group of people are the crypto bros that are big on trading and trying to get rich quick. And the second group is the traditional investors that think of crypto as in, number one, they think of it as all being one and of the same, which it's not. It's like comparing Apple to a penny stock, right? They're couldn't be more different. And then they also think of it as, where's the earnings? Where's the PE? Like, they're not the same kind of assets, right? But again, when it comes to this, crypto is not all built the same. And what I mean by that is 99.9% of them are garbage, right? Absolute garbage. Now, it doesn't mean you can't make money off of it. I mean, of course people will. But the problem with most, or the vast majority of cryptocurrencies is, yes, they are unregistered securities. Now, again, personally, I believe in a free market, but that's irrelevant because the law exists and that's how it's going to end up. I'm not the one making the rules, right? And again, the big question here is what happens with Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin has came down because of this, but the reality is Bitcoin is not an unregistered security. Solana, Cardano, XRP, Ethereum, and 99.9% of other tokens are. And what does that mean? Not only does it mean the government is going to regulate them, it also means that these cryptos are going to have to make public everything about them. And the most telling thing will be the amount of insider ownership that a lot of these tokens had, right? The fact that they had massive pre-mines, right? That's another very important thing. So again, if you're going to invest in crypto and you're going to invest in anything other than Bitcoin, it really makes no sense, right? The only half-decent argument that I would understand is the privacy coins, but I mean the problem with the privacy coins is, again, look at Monero. Has it kept up with Bitcoin over time? Like, it really hasn't, right? So again, the reality in the crypto space is there's Bitcoin and there's everything else. Right? And people who try and lump it all together, it's like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. And again, if you don't give that caveat, frankly, I don't know why anyone would listen to what you say. The problem is that there's so many people that don't seem to understand that. And then the other big problem is that there's a lot of people making a lot of money off things being the way they are. And they're never going to expose that, right? I mean, how many of these crypto VCs and entrepreneurs have made crazy amounts of money off this garbage, right? So again, I'm going to highlight this again just to make the point very clear, right? If a coin is not a proof of work coin and there is no one the government can go after, it will be regulated and hence it will go down. oftentimes probably to zero, right? Bitcoin is proof of work, not proof of stake. If your coin is proof of stake, it's garbage by default, right? Also, if there's anyone the government can sue, they will, right? With Ethereum, there's Vitalik, there's Joe Lubin, etc., etc. Cardano, you have Hodgkinson, right? Solana, there's a whole Chamath and all those, the bunch of VC guys, right? XRP, there's the corporation, like, so again, if the government can go after them, they will. Now again, a lot of people would probably say, okay, well, what if the government designates Bitcoin as an unregistered security? Number one, again, it doesn't fit the definition, right? It doesn't pass the Howey test, meaning it's not an unregistered security, but they don't have to. I mean, look at what the government did with gold, right? They can declare an emergency or whatever garbage they want to go after it, right? They really don't. So the fact that they're not doing that, again, is the SEC admitting that it's not, it is a commodity, not an unregistered security, which is what most of these cryptos are, right? And again, a lot of people probably say, oh, if you believe in a free market, why are you supporting this stuff? I'm only tacitly supporting it, number one, because vast majority of these coins are garbage. And number two, a lot of people refuse to acknowledge the truth about the crypto industry, and that being that Bitcoin is virtually the only one that is actually investable and is actually legitimate, right? Because if your cryptocurrency is not decentralized, if it's not proof of work, if the government can sue an individual or a corporation, it's garbage. Like, it's just garbage. It's not worth $1. It's not worth a penny, right? So that's a very important thing for people to realize. And again, for the people that the Moneros and the pirate chains of the world, it's like, okay, well, I can understand that to a degree, but it's also, if you can't convince people to adopt Bitcoin, you're not going to convince them to adopt your coin that has a market cap that's 1/100th or 1/1000th of size. It's just not going to happen, right? So again, if we want people to adopt cryptocurrencies more en masse, the only option is Bitcoin. It's the only option, right? Now again, people say, well, what about blockchain, or what about NFTs and that kind of stuff? Well, it's like, okay, well, the first thing that when it comes to blockchain is that if it's not proof of work and decentralized, then it's meaningless. Like, it's completely meaningless. There's no advantage over a centralized database or a centralized blockchain, like the Ethereum one, for example, right? There's no advantage, right? So, and people are going to learn this lesson the easy way or the hard way, right? And I don't think crypto ever goes away, right? I mean, look at China. I mean, they've gone after it from now until basically since it's been around. And did it disappear there when they banned Bitcoin mining? There's still a ton of Bitcoin mining going on there, right? So the only crypto that's stood the test of time is Bitcoin. And the whole point that I'm trying to get across here is that it's very frustrating that so few people understand this. And the reasoning is very simple. I mean, there's too many people within the crypto space that just want to get rich quick, right? And they want to trade these tiny, coins. Or there's people that want to come up with their own coin that's, supposedly slightly better here, even though in reality it isn't, but let's just pretend it is, in an attempt to get rich. And then on the flip side, you have so many people that just do not understand it at all. And on top of that, you have a lot of people within finance, like, financial advisors and a lot of these, big name traders that they don't understand it, right? And they don't understand it. It's so obvious it's not even funny, right? I mean, when people throw out the word crypto and they don't acknowledge any differences at all, or if they say, oh, well, it has no value, but it's like, okay, well, gold objectively has no value if you're comparing it to stocks. But the reality of Bitcoin is it has value for, I think, two main reasons. And the most important one isn't the one that the most people bring up. The most important one is it gives you the ability to number one, hold wealth and transfer wealth in a way that cannot be censored. And not only that, can be done very cheaply and can be moved anywhere in the world without any ability to be censored. There's nothing else that can do that. There's nothing else that can even come close to doing that. Right? Gold maybe in small amounts, but again, how are you going to get $1 million worth of gold across a border or even across the country? Like it's not going to happen without massive amounts of security and insurance, right? Bitcoin, it can be done at the snap of a finger almost, and especially with the Lightning Network becoming more and more integrated and advanced, like it's only going to get better. And the other big one, and I guess I'll kind of piggyback on what I just brought up too. If you haven't seen what's gone on over the last few years and been very concerned with the government having the ability to censor people's ability to transfer their hard-earned wealth, you haven't been paying attention, right? And the other big one is a hedge against inflation, and I think a hedge against the existing system as well. I mean, look at the bank collapses, right? Look at inflation over the last little while. Now again, will it hold up perfectly well over the short run? Absolutely not, right? It is going to be very volatile, right? It is going to be very volatile. But look at it over the long run, right? That's all we're worried about. So anyway, that's what I wanted to bring up today. If you liked the video, hit that like and subscribe. I'd like to hear comments, feedback, all that stuff. I always like hearing from people. So feel free to comment. And like I say, love the support and stay tuned for more.